Corpus Christi City Council approves multiple projects. Phillips 66 and the Heart Research Institute announce a new partnership and a look at an all-inclusive fashion show. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2026, and this is South Texas Midday. I'm Spencer Chiak. The Corpus Christi City Council met yesterday at City Hall for a regularly scheduled meeting. With their second vote, they approved the unit development project on the island near the Packery Channel. The council also approved the grant application to the Texas Department of Emergency Management related to help with flooding near Levola Creek. The Harbor Playhouse also extended their lease by 10 years. The Corpus Christi City Council also requested to have more information about a $1 billion cryptocurrency mining plant that was approved in 2022. The city, however, had nothing prepared to present. Questions still remain, and City Manager Peter Zanoni said the city needs to do an audit on the deal. Phillips 66 and the Heart Research Institute at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi gathered this morning at the Michael J. Ellis Beach and Seawall. They announced a $25,000 sponsorship that will support coastal education and community engagement. Phillips 66 is the first corporate sponsor of HRI's Beachcombing program and will support the program's first public community event this fall on North Padre Island. The Beachcombing program, led by HRI's Director of Community Engagement, Jace Tunnel, uses items found along Texas beaches to educate the public about marine debris, coastal ecosystems, and the Gulf Coast. Governor Greg Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 59 counties on Tuesday after heavy rains caused flash flooding in Texas's hill country. The Texas Newsroom's Blaise Gainey has more.
The declaration will allow the Texas Division of Emergency Management to mobilize more state resources and suspend rules that could get in the way of protecting life or property. In a letter accompanying the declaration, Governor Abbott wrote, quote, "As severe storms and the threat of dangerous flash flooding continues across the state, this disaster declaration ensures we can rapidly deploy state resources to support local communities." End quote. And more rain is on the horizon for the region. As of Tuesday afternoon, data showed areas near the Guadalupe River had received more than 3 inches of rain over the last 24 hours. The National Weather Service has predicted some isolated areas could see up to 15 inches of rainfall. I'm Blaise Gainey in Austin.
A report from the National Transportation Safety Board says pilots noticed an unusual vibration before crashing while trying to make an emergency landing on a highway in Laredo. Austin entrepreneur Josh Baer died in the crash. Then the 911 call started. KUT's Gabriel Velasquez Neira reports.
That night, a streak of fire could be seen across Laredo's sky. Both of the plane's engines had gone out. As it tried to land, it hit a truck on the highway. KUT obtained the 911 calls that came in through a public records request.
Laredo 911, what's the address of your emergency?
Now, a warning to listeners. The audio can be distressing to listen to. One woman called saying the plane flew right over her car and had barely missed her. Another woman said she thought it was a comet. The driver of the truck the plane crashed into was unable to call, but an emergency crash detection feature on their phone called 911 for them. The operator tried to talk to the owner of the device for 5 minutes.
What's going on, sir?
Finally, on a separate call, the driver was able to contact 911.
Where are you, sir?
Luke 20, I got hit by a plane.
NetJets, the company that operated the plane that crashed, says the preliminary findings do not determine probable cause. The National Transportation Safety Board says a final report of the crash will be released in about a year, once the investigation is completed. I'm Gabriel Velasquez Neira in Austin.
In the Dallas area, Irving ISD School Board Monday night voted to send a more than $950 million bond package to its voters this fall. KERA's Bill Ziebel has more on what's on the November 3rd ballot.
A bonds committee made up of residents, students, and district staff compiled the package that includes replacing 5 schools. Superintendent Dorian Galindo said at a work session last month, they're needed.
The average age of our campuses is 50 years old. We would love to replace them all. Priorities were made based on the facility condition of our campuses.
The bond would also go toward technology upgrades and new high school multipurpose facilities. If voters approve the bond's 3 propositions, the taxpayer cost on a $340,000 home would be about $21 a month. I'm Bill Ziebel in Dallas.
Finally, for some people, picking out an outfit is just a part of getting ready. But for a group of models in Dallas, fashion is a chance to make choices, build confidence, and be seen. KERA's Zara Amanchi takes us to an inclusive fashion show at Fair Park that puts people with disabilities at the center of the runway.
Hey, Zoe has a very special announcement. You ready?
Welcome to the show.
31-year-old Leah Badalora knows what it takes to work a runway.
Walking, then pivot.
And there's one thing that helped her get it right.
Practice.
Leah is one of about 20 models participating in Think Out, Be Light, an inclusive fashion show at the Women's Building at Fair Park. The runway features models with disabilities. Leah has global developmental delays and is on the autism spectrum. For her, the appeal is simple.
I get to walk down the runway.
And how does she feel when she's out there?
Happy.
But Leah's mother, Carol Badalora, sees something else beneath the music, clothes, and cheering.
More confidence, and in here, I see a little more self-determination.
Carol teaches daily living skills to students with disabilities at the Notre Dame School of Dallas. She's also been Leah's teacher. She says the fashion show gives models opportunities to make their own decisions.
Leah, would you want to enter the stage here or from the side? She gets to make a decision. What colors do you like? What kind of music? So she has to think about it.
Those choices might seem small, but Carol says for Leah, they matter. Growing up, Carol says she often heard predictions about what her daughter would never be able to do.
You've been told that she'll never tie her shoes, she'll never read, and we had to prove them wrong.
So, Carol looked for opportunities where Leah could enjoy the same experiences as everyone else.
They want to dress up just like everyone else does and be beautiful and get their hair made up and be a model and walk down the runway.
Felicia Wilson started these annual fashion shows more than a decade ago. The models are styled by local store owners who have volunteered after building a friendship with Wilson. Her daughter, Zoe, has Down syndrome and is also an amputee.
And I thought about what it would look like and be like in the future for me as a mom, and how difficult it might be to see my child being celebrated as she got older.
The first show featured about 8 models and drew roughly 30 people to a cafe in Deep Ellum. Now, the event is organized through Wilson's nonprofit, the Third Legacy Foundation, which advocates for people with disabilities. During Disability Pride Month, conversations often center on access to education, employment, healthcare, and public spaces. But Wilson says access can also mean having the opportunity to be visible.
For your person, your human that you brought into the world to feel seen and visible and celebrated, and like they belong to something where they get a chance to shine and be celebrated.
Back on the runway, Carol says it sometimes takes a few practices before models get comfortable. But then the music starts, the crowd gets louder, and something changes.
When the crowd gets going, we're going to see them shine and see the light.
For Leah, there may be no need to overcomplicate it. In her baggy yellow pants and blue sequins top, she walked, and she was happy. I'm Zara Mechi in Dallas.
This has been South Texas Midday on your community-owned station, KADT and KVRT. I'm Spencer Chiak. Your community arts calendar and more is on its way next.